Today we're tuning into the sonic world of the musician CheninPan and their album Chronotope. We've got a really interesting collection of sources here. Some excerpts from the Chronotope CD info, a bit about CheninPan as a nomadic music artist, and then insights into their SEAZ0N plus W4VE project.
Yeah, and what's immediately striking about Chronotope is that it's a compilation of live recordings, spanning, 5 years? 2019 to 2024?
Right.
And the Handpan is really front and center. But, the recording process itself, that's a huge part of the story here.
Exactly. CheninPan used a Tascam Portacapture X8 with an XY stereo microphone. Now, this isn't your typical, polished studio setup.
Oh, no.
This kind of here, it's designed to capture a really wide, detailed soundscape. So you're not just hearing the Handpan, you're getting the whole acoustic environment.
The vibe of the place, yeah.
Things like maybe the wind, the rustle of clothes, perhaps even distant conversations or like subtle electronic hums.
Right, all those little details. And that immediately brings us to, our central question for this deep dive, really. What can we learn about CheninPan's artistic vision and, the experience they're trying to create with this very deliberate approach to recording and just the whole concept behind Chronotope?
Okay, so let's start with the artists themselves, CheninPan.
Yeah, let's dig into that.
They're described as a cultural nomad traveling the world with this busking mob art form. It sounds very fluid, very mobile.
It really does. A very adaptable kind of practice.
So, being a cultural nomad, how does that actual experience, moving through different places, different cultures, how does that actually show up in the music? Can we hear specific influences?
That's a great question. I mean, beyond just the Handpan, CheninPan is apparently skilled in several ethnic instruments. Didgeridoo, asalato.
Okay.
And what seems noteworthy is how they blend these acoustic sounds, which often have, deep historical roots, with more modern stuff like electronic sampling.
Ah, right.
And it seems like they actively incorporate local sounds from wherever they are. So this kind of sonic cross-pollination becomes a real signature.
Okay, that makes sense. Which leads us, I guess, directly to the album Chronotope and that title. It feels like it holds a key.
It really does. The album notes, they say the goal is to restore the situation of the time through the wave frequency of sound.
Okay.
And to invite you, the listener, on a musical journey of the time. So this idea of, sonic time capsules, it's quite different from a standard studio album, isn't it?
Yeah, totally. It suggests they prefer that raw, sort of unmediated experience over, polished perfection.
Which kind of taps into that whole interest in authenticity, blurring the lines between art and life, maybe.
So these aren't just tracks in the usual sense. They're meant to be preserved moments, almost.
Exactly.
And the live recording capturing all those environmental sounds, that really underlines it. It's like each track is a little window into a specific time and place.
Absolutely. The inclusion of something like, say, wind noise isn't seen as a mistake. It's actually part of the Chronotope idea.
Right.
These ambient sounds, they ground the music in a specific reality. They capture not just the performance, but the whole context. It really makes you think of each recording as a portal to that moment. And the total length, just under an hour, 59 foot 59.3. That also feels quite deliberate, like framing a specific duration of experience.
Now, okay, this is where things get really, really interesting. The Chronotope notes have this almost mythical description of the Handpan itself.
Yeah, this is pretty wild.
It's not just an instrument. It's described as, get this, a celestial creature forged from collapsed stellar matter and quantum resonance.
I mean, wow, that really elevates the instrument, doesn't it? Gives it this sense of cosmic origin, some kind of inherent power.
Yeah, and when you say quantum resonance, what are we thinking there? Like everything vibrates?
Sort of, yeah. The idea that everything at a basic level vibrates with its own energy signature. It's pretty out there conceptually.
Yeah. And the way they talk about interacting with these living instruments. It's like a ritual about wave frequency. And it can supposedly distort time and space, open up multidimensional channels with the echo of the past and the whisper of the future. It's incredibly poetic language.
It really is. It makes you wonder how much of CheninPan's process is about listening to the instrument, interacting with it, rather than just, playing notes on it.
Like a dialogue.
Exactly. It suggests that playing the Handpan, for CheninPan anyway, isn't just making music, it's maybe engaging with these fundamental vibrations, tapping into something bigger, something maybe beyond linear time.
And the album structure, the 13 audio segments, are presented as information extracted from the dialogue with the handpan.
Right, as if the music isn't just composed, but sort of revealed through this interaction.
It frames the artist almost like a conduit, yeah. Someone listening and then translating the handpan's voice.
And then you get the even more mysterious bits, the hollow core buzzing with antimatter, the question of whether it's a guide or a trap, and those final coordinates pointing to an uncaptured galaxy.
It's a whole narrative woven into the description, adds these layers of intrigue. You have to wonder how much is literal belief versus like a metaphor for the experience of music.
That's a key point, isn't it? It blurs the lines between the physical thing, its sound, and this almost spiritual sci-fi interpretation.
And how does that connection translate into the actual sounds, the textures we hear on the album?
Well, it definitely encourages a deeper listening, I think. And this sort of perspective seems to lead us into CheninPan's wider art project, ACD0N plus W4VE.
Ah, yes. 0D0N plus W4VE.
Which seems to provide the philosophical backdrop for these ideas about sound and connection.
Started in 2018, right? And it centers on this core belief. Everything is W4VE. That's pretty all-encompassing.
It is a worldview where everything is interconnected through vibrations, through frequencies.
Okay, so how does that actually, manifest for someone listening? Are there specific sounds that embody this wave idea?
Well, the project aims to explore these sound wave frequencies to record, and I quote, all the connections and occurrences of nomadic current time and space.
Right. Okay.
So that philosophy directly informs the live recording approach we were just talking about with Chronotope. It's about capturing that vibrational reality.
And the project itself is built on these concepts: soul, nomadism, wave, ethnic concepts, it says. How do those fit together?
Well, soul probably points to the emotional, the spiritual resonance of the music and experiences.
Makes sense.
Nomadism, well, that clearly links to CheninPan's whole lifestyle, the cultural exchange we talked about.
Right, the cravel.
And wave, that's the fundamental principle, isn't it? The idea that everything operates on this vibrational level. It ties it all together.
There's also this symbol mentioned, linked to the asalato instrument. What's the significance there?
The notes describe it really nicely, actually. It symbolizes connection between points, crossing between circles, transformation between people, the link between worlds, and how uniqueness and commonality can coexist. It's a really potent symbol for interconnectedness, for transition.
And even just the squiggle, the corrugated line, that has meaning too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It just reinforces that core idea, interconnectedness, flow, change, repetition, this sort of fundamental unity of everything. It's like the visual shorthand for everything is W4VE.
So, okay, if we pull all these threads together, CheninPan's nomadic life, the skill with different instruments, this whole SCD0N plus W4VE philosophy.
Yeah.
It all feeds directly into Chronotope, doesn't it?
Precisely. The live recording isn't just like a technical choice. It's a direct expression of everything is W4VE. Capturing that raw, unfiltered sound environment is documenting the vibrational tapestry of that moment.
Yeah, okay, I see that now.
It's the practice embodying the philosophy.
And that whole mythical story around the handpan, and maybe that's CheninPan's autistic way of interpreting the instrument's unique sound qualities.
Could be. I mean, handpans do have that sustained, resonant tone. It often feels kind of otherworldly, doesn't it? It evokes timelessness, connection.
It definitely can, yeah.
So maybe that narrative is just a way to articulate that feeling, that potential, that the sound has to transport you.
It invites a deeper listening, makes you consider the essence of the sound, not just the notes. So yeah, it becomes clear that Chronotope is way more than just music. It's this whole exploration of sound, time, space, connection, all captured live and viewed through this unique artistic lens.
Definitely. We've seen how something like field recording becomes this really deliberate artistic choice, how an instrument gets imbued with these, well, almost mythical properties.
Yeah.
And how a philosophy like everything's W4VE underpins the whole creative process.
It really encourages you, when you listen, to think about the intention behind every single sound on that album, even the background noise.
Absolutely.
So, for you listening, here's something to think about. How does hearing those environmental sounds, deliberately included, change how you perceive a piece of music? How does it connect you to the moment it was recorded?
Yeah, it made me think about what other chronotopes, what other sonic snapshots of time and place might be present in just the everyday sounds around you, if you really listen.